Happy Book Talk Tuesday. Last week we talked a little bit about some books that put us in someone else's shoes and help us see things from someone else's point of view. And I have some more today. We may do more next week. There are just so many, and really, these are some of my absolute favorite books to read because it helps me to be more empathetic towards other people. Y'all, we are all going through something, or we have been through something that has made such an impact on our life, and maybe we don't want to share that with anyone. Maybe maybe it might be embarrassing for us. Maybe it may be too hard to talk about, but we all have a thing. Everyone has something that they are carrying with them. And when that they may not carry that well. They may carry that with a lot of anger. They may carry that with a lot of just quiet. They don't share with anybody. They don't make friends very easily. They don't talk to people. There's something, and we just need to be kind. We just need to be kind to everyone. There is no reason to be unkind to people. There's just not, especially to people that are very hard to be kind to. Those are the people that need the most love and need the most kindness in their lives. So the first book I'm going to share with you today is The Bridge Home. This is by, I can't remember the author's name, Padma Venkatraman. I probably said that wrong. Anyway, this takes place in India, and it is about these two kids, these two girls that run away from home. And the older sibling, she decides she needs to take her sister out of that house because her dad is very violent, and she is worried that he is going to hurt her sister especially, but her as well. He is not a nice person. So they leave the house, they run away, and they are homeless in India. Now, this is common in India, y'all, in countries in our world, in our city. There are kids that are homeless. They have run away from home. They are homeless for whatever reason, and they are trying to survive just on the streets, and it is very, very difficult. And most of them, don't survive that. So these girls find shelter under this abandoned bridge, and there are actually two boys that are already under there who are very kind to them and help them and take them in. The way that they earn money to even buy food is by just going through trash dumps, and looking for metal or things that can be sold, and then they take them to the people who are, working at the front of these dumps and sell them. And the men working there take full advantage of these kids not having any other option and hardly pay them anything. Y'all, it's such an amazing story of courage, of perseverance, of hope. Yeah, I highly recommend The Bridge Home. Actually, I highly recommend all of these that we're going to talk about today. The second one is The Goldfish Boy, and this is about a boy who is obsessed with germs and being clean. He washes his hands so much they are cracked and bleeding and dried because he can't stop washing his hands. He can't go to school because he has a hard time even leaving his bedroom because of the germ situation, and he's so worried about this. He spends a lot of time looking out his window of his room, and as he is looking out this window, he sees one day something that he really needs to share with the authorities, but he is having a hard time doing that. So a girl goes missing on his street, and he wants to be able to help the police find this girl, but he also can't leave his room. It's an amazing story. Okay, the next one is Other Words for Home. So this is about a girl who she and her mom come to our country from Syria because the country is in such disarray and there's so much fighting going on in their city, which this is, you probably have heard about this in the news recently. So there's so much going on in her city that the dad says, y'all need to go to the United States and stay with family until, things are safer over here. So she and her mom, her pregnant mom, come to the United States. Brother and dad stay in Syria. They lose communication with each other. So she has no idea if they're even alive anymore. But she comes here. She doesn't speak the language. She's Muslim, and a lot of people don't understand that. They just think that's bad. People just think if you're Muslim, it's bad. They don't understand what it is, and they don't understand her. They don't give her a chance. They make fun of her for her language and for her country, and she is just coming here to try to make a new life and to be safe with her mom. Um, we have people in our schools that come to our schools every day that do not speak English. They don't speak English. And it may be Spanish, but it may be another language that they speak. But we need to try and welcome new people in as much as possible and try to communicate as best as possible to help them feel like this is a safe place for them and this is their new home. We need to make people feel that way. You imagine if we were in another country, if somebody made me go live in Germany and I had to work with everyone and all they spoke was German, I would have a very hard time. I would guess I would figure it out after a while, but I would have a very hard time. It would be very challenging. And then trying to make friends in the middle of all that, trying to make friends with people who don't speak your language, always be kind. All right, y'all, this probably is one of my favorite books ever. The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle. This is one of those books I could not put down. I stayed up late reading. I stayed up all day on one Saturday, I just read all day Saturday because I couldn't stop. I'm not a super fast reader, so it takes me a little bit longer. This is by Leslie Connor. I think I talked about Waiting for Normal last time. I'm pretty sure that I talked about that. That book is by her also. So Mason is just a really sweet, honest kid, super nice kid, just very friendly. He has some learning disabilities, and he really cannot read or write well at all. And people make fun of him for this. Kids take full advantage of bullying him and making fun of him and picking on him because he won't pick back. So they take full advantage of that, which is awful. It's just horrible. When I see that happening, it's just horrible. And you know what I'm talking about. So Mason, about a year and a half before this book, before the story begins, his best friend, he finds his best friend who has died right outside this tree, right at the bottom of this tree that they have where they meet up all the time. So his friend has died. He was the last person to see him the night before and the first person to find him when he has died. And the sheriff in town believes Mason has done this, which if after you read, you don't have to read very far to know Mason would never be capable of that. Anyway, Mason doesn't understand why people, keep asking him the same questions. Why, he didn't do it. He doesn't know who did it. Well, about a year and a half after this death, he has another really good friend that he has made, and this new friend goes missing. And so now Mason is under suspicion again about what is going on and why is this new friend missing. And in the middle of that, you see how other boys at school are treating him. Y'all, it's heartbreaking, and it's such a good lesson for us. We don't think about how our actions affect other people. A lot of kids don't think about how your words affect other people. Words are important. Actions are important. The way you treat people is how you are showing people you want to be treated. So I hope that you read some of these books and you learn from them. And I hope you have an amazing day and read lots of books.